Welcome back, beloved in Christ. Welcome back to this sacred space, where the noise of the world grows quiet, and the voice of the living God draws near. If you are returning after the first portion of the book of Prophet Isaiah, know that the Lord was with you then, and He is with you now. He does not leave. He does not wander. He has been present in every moment between reading that part and this one. And if this is your first time here, just know that you have not missed anything the Holy Spirit cannot restore to you. He will minister to your heart exactly what you need, and when you need it. You may be tired today. The kind of tired that settles into the bones. The kind of weakness that rest alone cannot seem to reach. Or perhaps you are carrying something new, a fresh worry, a heaviness you cannot quite name. Bring it here. Bring all of it. The Lord meets you in the middle of the unanswered question. In the middle of the mess, in the middle of the day. He always has. Today we continue through Isaiah chapters 21 through 66. The comfort chapters are ahead. The servant songs are ahead. The voice that says, "Comfort, comfort my people." The voice that says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come." Let us pray. Lord, meet this beloved listener right where they are. You know what they carried in today. Let your word reach the deep places and fill them with your peace. The peace that passes all understanding, the peace that is Jesus Himself. Holy Spirit, breathe through these words. Remind this one who listens that they are not forgotten, not forsaken, not alone. In the name of Jesus, Amen. The book of Isaiah chapters 21 through 66. Chapter 20. The burden of the wilderness of the sea. As whirlwinds in the south sweep through, it comes from the wilderness, from an awesome land. A grievous vision is declared to me. The treacherous man deals treacherously, and the destroyer destroys. Go up, Elam, besiege Media. I have made all the sighing of it to cease. Therefore my thighs are filled with anguish. Pangs have seized me, like the pangs of a woman in labor. I am in so much pain that I can't hear. I am so dismayed that I can't see. My heart flutters. Horror has frightened me. The twilight that I loved has been turned into trembling for me. They prepare the table. They set the watch. They eat. They drink. Rise up, you princes, oil the shield. For the Lord said to me, Go, set a watchman. Let him declare what he sees. When he sees a troop, horsemen in pairs, a troop of donkeys, a troop of camels, he shall listen diligently with great diligence. He cried like a lion, My Lord, I stand continually on the watchtower in the daytime, and every night I stay at my post. Behold, here comes a troop of men, horsemen in pairs. One answered and said, Fallen, fallen is Babylon, and all the engraved images of her gods are broken to the ground. You are my threshing, and the grain of my floor, that which I have heard from Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, I have declared to you. The burden of Dumah. One calls to me out of Seir, Watchman, what of the night? Watchman, what of the night? The watchman said, The morning comes, and also the night. If you will inquire, inquire, come back again. The burden on Arabia. In the forest in Arabia you will lodge, you caravans of Dedanites. They brought water to him who was thirsty. The inhabitants of the land of Tema met the fugitives with bread. For they fled away from the swords, from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, and from the heat of battle. For the Lord said to me, Within a year, as a hired worker counts years, all the glory of Kedar will fail. The residue of the number of the archers, the mighty men of the children of Kedar, will be few. For Yahweh, the God of Israel, has spoken it. Chapter 22. The burden of the valley of vision. What ails you now, that you have all gone up to the housetops? You that are full of shouting, a tumultuous city, a joyous town. Your slain are not slain with the sword, neither are they dead in battle. All your rulers fled away together. They were bound by the archers. All who were found by you were bound together. They fled far away. Therefore I said, Look away from me, I will weep bitterly. Don't labor to comfort me for the destruction of the daughter of my people. For it is a day of trouble, of treading down, and of perplexity, from the Lord, Yahweh of armies, in the valley of vision, a breaking down of the walls and a crying to the mountains. Elam carried his quiver, with chariots of men and horsemen. Kir uncovered the shield. It happened that your choicest valleys were full of chariots, and the horsemen set themselves in array at the gate. He took away the covering of Judah. In that day you looked to the armor in the house of the forest. You saw the breaches of the city of David, that they were many. You gathered together the waters of the lower pool. You numbered the houses of Jerusalem, and you broke down the houses to fortify the wall. You also made a reservoir between the two walls for the water of the old pool. But you didn't look to him who had done this, neither did you have respect for him who planned it long ago. In that day the Lord, Yahweh of armies, called to weeping, to mourning, to baldness, and to dressing in sackcloth. Behold, joy and gladness, killing cattle and killing sheep, eating flesh and drinking wine. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we will die. Yahweh of armies revealed himself in my ears. Surely this iniquity will not be forgiven you until you die, says the Lord, Yahweh of armies. The Lord, Yahweh of armies, says, Go, get yourself to this treasurer, even to Shebna, who is over the house, and say, What are you doing here? Who has you here, that you have dug out a tomb here, digging himself out a tomb on high, carving a habitation for himself in the rock? Behold, Yahweh will overcome you and hurl you away violently. Yes, he will grasp you firmly. He will surely wind you around and throw you like a ball into a large country. There you will die, and there the chariots of your glory will be, you shame of your Lord's house. I will thrust you from your office. You will be pulled down from your station. It will happen in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with your robe, and bind your belt on him, and commit your authority into his hand. He will be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. I will lay the key of the house of David on his shoulder. He will open, and no one will shut. He will shut, and no one will open. I will fasten him like a nail in a sure place. He will be for a throne of glory to his father's house. They will hang on him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue, every small vessel, from the cups even to all the pitchers. In that day, says Yahweh of armies, the nail that was fastened in a sure place will give way. It will be cut down and fall. The burden that was on it will be cut off, for Yahweh has spoken it. Chapter 23. The burden of Tyre. Wail, you ships of Tarshish, for it is laid waste so that there is no house and no entering in. From the land of Kittim it is revealed to them. Be still, you inhabitants of the coast, you whom the merchants of Sidon, who pass over the sea, have replenished. On great waters, the grain of the Shihor, the harvest of the Nile, was her revenue. She was the market of nations. Be ashamed, Sidon, for the sea has spoken, the stronghold of the sea, saying, I have not travailed, nor brought forth children. Neither have I nourished young men, nor brought up virgins. When the report comes to Egypt, they will be in anguish at the report of Tyre. Pass over to Tarshish, wail, you inhabitants of the coast. Is this your joyous city whose antiquity is of ancient days, whose feet carried her far away to travel? Who has planned this against Tyre, the giver of crowns, whose merchants are princes, whose traders are the honorable of the earth? Yahweh of armies has planned it, to stain the pride of all glory, to bring into contempt all the honorable of the earth. Pass through your land like the Nile, daughter of Tarshish. There is no restraint anymore. He has stretched out his hand over the sea. He has shaken the kingdoms. Yahweh has ordered the destruction of Canaan's strongholds. He said, You shall rejoice no more, you oppressed virgin daughter of Sidon. Arise, pass over to Kittim. Even there you will have no rest. Behold, the land of the Chaldeans. This people didn't exist. The Assyrians founded it for those who dwell in the wilderness. They set up their towers. They overthrew its palaces. They made it a ruin. Wail, you ships of Tarshish, for your stronghold is laid waste. It will happen in that day that Tyre will be forgotten for 70 years, according to the days of one king. After the end of 70 years, it will be to Tyre like the song of the prostitute. Take a harp. Go about the city, you prostitute, that has been forgotten. Make sweet melody. Sing many songs, that you may be remembered. It will happen after the end of 70 years, that Yahweh will visit Tyre, and she shall return to her wages, and will play the prostitute with all the kingdoms of the world on the surface of the earth. Her merchandise and her wages will be holiness to Yahweh. It will not be treasured nor laid up, for her merchandise will be for those who dwell before Yahweh, to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing. Chapter 24. Behold, Yahweh makes the earth empty, makes it waste, turns it upside down, and scatters its inhabitants. It will be the same with the people as with the priest, with the servant as with his master, with the maid as with her mistress, with the buyer as with the seller, with the borrower as with the lender, with the creditor as with the debtor. The earth will be utterly emptied and utterly plundered, for Yahweh has spoken this word. The earth mourns and fades away. The world languishes and fades away. The lofty people of the earth languish. The earth also is polluted under its inhabitants, because they have transgressed the laws, violated the statutes, and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore the curse has devoured the earth, and those who dwell therein are found guilty. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourns, the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted sigh. The mirth of tambourines ceases, the noise of those who rejoice ends, the joy of the harp ceases. They will not drink wine with a song. Strong drink will be bitter to those who drink it. The city of chaos is broken down. Every house is shut up so that no one can come in. There is a crying in the streets because of the wine. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Desolation is left in the city. The gate is struck with destruction. For it will be like this within the earth among the peoples, as the shaking of an olive tree, as the gleanings when the vintage is done. These shall lift up their voice. They will shout for the majesty of Yahweh. They cry aloud from the sea. Therefore glorify Yahweh in the east, even the name of Yahweh, the God of Israel, in the islands of the sea. From the uttermost part of the earth we have heard songs, glory to the righteous. But I said, I pine away. I pine away. Woe is me. The treacherous have dealt treacherously. Yes, the treacherous have dealt very treacherously. Fear, the pit, and the snare are upon you, inhabitant of the earth. It will happen that he who flees from the noise of the fear will fall into the pit. He who comes up out of the middle of the pit will be taken in the snare. For the windows on high are opened, and the foundations of the earth tremble. The earth is utterly broken. The earth is torn apart. The earth is shaken violently. The earth will stagger like a drunken man, and will sway back and forth like a hammock. Its disobedience will be heavy on it, and it will fall and not rise again. It shall happen in that day, that Yahweh will punish the army of the high ones on high, and the kings of the earth on the earth. They shall be gathered together, as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. After many days they shall be visited. Then the moon will be confounded, and the sun ashamed, for Yahweh of armies will reign on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem. His glory will be before his elders. Chapter 25. Yahweh, you are my God. I will exalt you. I will praise your name, for you have done wonderful things, things planned long ago, in complete faithfulness and truth. For you have made a city into a heap, a fortified city into a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city. It will never be built. Therefore a strong people will glorify you. A city of awesome nations will fear you. For you have been a stronghold to the poor, a stronghold to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shade from the heat, when the blast of the dreaded ones is like a storm against the wall. As the heat in a dry place will you bring down the noise of strangers. As the heat by the shade of a cloud, the song of the dreaded ones will be brought low. Yahweh of armies will make a feast for all peoples on this mountain, a feast of fat things, a feast of choice wines, of fat things full of marrow, of well-refined choice wines. He will destroy on this mountain the surface of the covering that covers all peoples, and the veil that is spread over all nations. He has swallowed up death forever. The Lord Yahweh will wipe away tears from awful faces. He will take away the reproach of his people from off all the earth, for Yahweh has spoken it. It will be said in that day, Behold, this is our God. We have waited for him, and he will salve us. This is Yahweh, we have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation. For Yahweh's hand will rest on this mountain. Moab will be trodden down in his place, like straw is trodden down in the water of the dunghill. He will spread out his hands within it, as a swimmer spreads out hands to swim. But Yahweh will lay his pride low together with the craft of his hands. The high fortress of your walls he will bring down, lay low, and cast to the ground, even to the dust. Chapter 26. In that day, this song will be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. God appoints salvation for walls and bulwarks. Open the gates, that the righteous nation may enter, the one that keeps faith. You will keep whoever's mind is steadfast in perfect peace, because he trusts in you. Trust in Yahweh forever, for in Yahweh is an everlasting rock. For he has brought down those who dwell on high, the lofty city. He lays it low. He lays it low even to the ground. He brings it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. You who are upright make the path of the righteous level. Yes, in the way of your judgments, Yahweh, we have waited for you. Your name and your renown are the desire of our soul. With my soul I have desired you in the night. Yes, with my spirit within me, I will seek you earnestly. For when your judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world learn righteousness. Though grace is shown to the wicked, he still won't learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness he will deal unjustly, and will not see Yahweh's majesty. Yahweh, your hand is lifted up, yet they don't see. But they will see your zeal for your people and be disappointed. Yes, fire will consume your adversaries. Yahweh, you will ordain peace for us, for you have also worked all our works for us. Yahweh our God, other lords besides, you have had dominion over us, but we will only acknowledge your name. The dead won't live, the departed spirits won't rise. Therefore, you have visited and destroyed them, and caused all memory of them to perish. You have increased the nation, Yahweh. You have increased the nation. You are glorified. You have enlarged all the borders of the land. Yahweh, in trouble they have visited you. They poured out a prayer when your chastening was on them, like a woman with child, who draws near the time of her delivery, is in pain, and cries out in her pangs. So have we been before you, Yahweh. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We gave birth, it seems, only to wind. We have not worked any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Your dead shall live, my dead bodies shall arise. Awake and sing, you who dwell in the dust, for your dew is like the dew of herbs, and the earth will cast out the departed spirits. Come, my people, enter into your chambers, and shut your doors behind you. Hide yourself for a little moment, until the indignation is past. For behold, Yahweh comes out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also will disclose her blood, and will no longer cover her slain. Chapter 27. In that day, Yahweh with his hard and great and strong sword will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, and Leviathan the twisted serpent. He will kill the dragon that is in the sea. In that day, a vineyard of wine, sing about it. I, Yahweh, am its keeper. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it. I will keep it night and day. Fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I would march against them, and I would burn them all. Or else let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me. Let him make peace with me. In days to come, Jacob will take root. Israel will blossom and bud. They will fill the surface of the world with fruit. Has he struck them as he struck those who struck them? Or are they killed like those who killed them were killed? In measure, when you send them away, you contend with them. He has removed them with his rough blast in the day of the east wind. Therefore by this the iniquity of Jacob will be forgiven. And this is all the fruit of taking away his sin, that he makes all the stones of the altar as chalk stones that are beaten in pieces, so that the Asherah poles and the incense altars shall rise no more. For the fortified city is solitary, a habitation deserted and forsaken, like the wilderness. The calf will feed there, and there he will lie down and consume its branches. When its boughs are withered, they will be broken off. The women will come and set them on fire, for it is a people of no understanding. Therefore, he who made them will not have compassion on them, and he who formed them will show them no favor. It will happen in that day that Yahweh will thresh from the flowing stream of the Euphrates to the brook of Egypt, and you will be gathered one by one, children of Israel. It will happen in that day that a great trumpet will be blown, and those who were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and those who were outcasts in the land of Egypt, shall come. They will worship Yahweh in the holy mountain at Jerusalem. Chapter 28. Woe to the crown of pride of the drunkards of Ephraim, and to the fading flower of his glorious beauty, which is on the head of the fertile valley of those who are overcome with wine. Behold, the Lord has a mighty and strong one, like a storm of hail, a destroying storm, and like a storm of mighty waters overflowing. He will cast them down to the earth with his hand. The crown of pride of the drunkards of Ephraim will be trodden under foot. The fading flower of his glorious beauty, which is on the head of the fertile valley, will be like the first ripe fig before the summer, which someone picks and eats as soon as he sees it. In that day, Yahweh of armies will be for a crown of glory, and for a diadem of beauty to the remnant of his people, and for a spirit of justice to him who sits in judgment, and for strength to those who turn back the battle at the gate. These also reel with wine, and stagger with strong drink. The priest and the prophet reel with strong drink. They are swallowed up by wine. They stagger with strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of filthy vomit, and there is no place that is clean. Whom will he teach knowledge? To whom will he explain the message? Those who are weaned from milk and drawn from the breasts. For it is precept on precept, precept on precept, line on line, line on line, here a little, there a little. But he will speak to this nation with stammering lips and in another language, to whom he said, This is the rest. Give rest to him who is weary, and this is the refreshing. Yet they would not hear. Therefore Yahweh's word will be to them precept on precept, precept on precept, line on line, line on line, here a little, there a little, that they may go, fall backward, be broken, be snared, and be taken. Therefore hear Yahweh's word, you scoffers who rule this people in Jerusalem, because you have said, We have made a covenant with death, and we are in agreement with Sheol. When the overflowing scourge passes through, it won't come to us. For we have made lies our refuge, and we have hidden ourselves under falsehood. Therefore the Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone of a sure foundation. He who believes shall not act hastily. I will make justice the measuring line, and righteousness the plumb line. The hail will sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters will overflow the hiding place. Your covenant with death shall be annulled, and your agreement with Sheol shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge passes through, then you will be trodden down by it. As often as it passes through, it will take you. For morning by morning it will pass through, by day and by night. It will be nothing but terror to understand the message. For the bed is too short to stretch out on, and the covering is too narrow to wrap oneself in. For Yahweh will rise up as on Mount Perazim. He will be angry as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his unusual work, and bring to pass his act, his extraordinary act. Now therefore don't be scoffers, lest your bonds be made strong. For I have heard a decree of destruction from the Lord, Yahweh of armies, on the whole earth. Listen and hear my voice. Pay attention and hear my speech. Does he who plows to sow plow continually? Does he keep turning the soil and breaking the clods? When he has leveled its surface, doesn't he plant the dill and scatter the cumin, and put in the wheat in rows, the barley in the appointed place, and the spelt in its place? For his God instructs him correctly, and teaches him. For the dill is not threshed with a threshing sledge, neither is a cartwheel turned over the cumin. But the dill is beaten out with a staff, and the cumin with a rod. Bread grain is ground, but not always. One threshes it with the wheel of his threshing cart, but his horses don't grind it. This also comes from Yahweh of armies, who is wonderful in counsel and excellent in wisdom. Chapter 29. Woe to Ariel, Ariel, city where David encamped. Add year to year. Let the feasts come around, yet I will distress Ariel, and there will be mourning and lamentation. She shall be to me as Ariel. I will encamp against you all around you, and will lay siege against you with posted troops. I will raise siege works against you. You will be brought down and will speak out of the ground. Your speech will mumble out of the dust. Your voice will be like a ghost's out of the ground. Your speech will whisper out of the dust. But the multitude of your foes will be like fine dust, and the multitude of the ruthless ones like chaff that blows away. Yes, it will be in an instant suddenly. She will be visited by Yahweh of armies with thunder, with earthquake, with great noise, with whirlwind and storm, and with the flame of a devouring fire. The multitude of all the nations who fight against Ariel, even all who fight against her and her stronghold, and who distress her, will be as a dream, a vision of the night. It will be like a hungry man who dreams that he is eating, but he awakes, and his soul is empty. Or like a thirsty man who dreams that he is drinking, but he awakes and behold, he is faint, and his soul craves drink. So the multitude of all the nations will be who fight against Mount Zion. Pause and wonder. Blind yourselves and be blind. They are drunk, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh has poured out on you a spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets. And he has covered your heads, the seers. All vision has become to you like the words of a sealed book, which men give to one who is educated, saying, "Read this, please." He says, "I can't, for it is sealed." The book is given to one who is not educated, saying, "Read this, please." He says, "I can't read." The Lord said, "Because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but they have removed their heart far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment of men that has been taught. Therefore, behold, I will do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. The wisdom of their wise men will perish, and the understanding of their prudent men will be hidden. Woe to those who deeply hide their counsel from Yahweh, and whose works are in the dark, and who say, 'Who sees us, and who knows us?' You turn things upside down. Shall the potter be considered equal with the clay? That the thing made should say about him who made it, 'He didn't make me.' Or the thing formed say of him who formed it, 'He has no understanding'? Isn't it yet a very little while, and Lebanon will be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field will be regarded as a forest? In that day the deaf will hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind will see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The humble also will increase their joy in Yahweh, and the poor among men will rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the ruthless is brought to nothing, and the scoffer ceases, and all those who are alert to do evil are cut off, who cause a person to be indicted by a word, and lay a snare for the arbitrator at the gate, and who deprive the innocent of justice with false testimony. Therefore Yahweh, who redeemed Abraham, says concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall no longer be ashamed. His face shall no longer become pale. But when he sees his children, the work of my hands, in the middle of him, they will sanctify my name. Yes, they will sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and will stand in awe of the God of Israel. They also who err in spirit will come to understanding, and those who murmur will receive instruction. Chapter 30. Woe to the rebellious children, says Yahweh, who take counsel, but not from me, and who make an alliance, but not with my spirit. that they may add sin to sin, who set out to go down into Egypt and have not asked my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to take refuge in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore the strength of Pharaoh will be your shame, and the refuge in the shadow of Egypt will be your confusion. For his princes are at Zoan, and his ambassadors have come to Hanes. They shall all be ashamed because of a people that can't profit them, that are not a help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. The burden of the animals of the south, through the land of trouble and anguish, from where come the lioness and the lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent. They carry their riches on the shoulders of young donkeys, and their treasures on the humps of camels, to a people who shall not profit them. Egypt helps in vain and to no purpose. Therefore I have called her Rahab, who sits still. Now go, write it before them on a tablet, and inscribe it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. For it is a rebellious people, lying children, children who will not hear Yahweh's law, who tell the seers, "Don't see," and tell the prophets, "Don't prophesy to us right things. Tell us pleasant things." Prophecy deceits, get out of the way, turn aside from the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Therefore the Holy One of Israel says, because you despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and rely on it, therefore this iniquity will be to you like a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking comes suddenly in an instant. He will break it as a potter's vessel is broken, breaking it in pieces without sparing, so that there won't be found among its pieces a sherd with which to take fire from the hearth, or to dip up water out of the cistern. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest you will be saved. In quietness and in confidence will be your strength, and you would not. But you said, No, for we will flee on horses, therefore you will flee, and we will ride on the swift. Therefore those who pursue you will be swift. 1,000 will flee at the threat of one. At the threat of 5 you will flee, until you are left like a beacon on the top of a mountain, and like a banner on a hill. Therefore Yahweh will wait, that he may be gracious to you, and therefore he will be exalted, that he may have mercy on you. For Yahweh is a God of justice. Blessed are all those who wait for him. For the people will dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. You will weep no more. He will surely be gracious to you at the voice of your cry. When he hears you, he will answer you. Though the Lord may give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet your teachers won't be hidden anymore, but your eyes will see your teachers. Your ears will hear a word behind you saying, This is the way. Walk in it, when you turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left. You shall defile the overlaying of your engraved images of silver, and the plating of your molten images of gold. You shall cast them away like a menstrual cloth. You shall tell them, Go away. He will give the rain for your seed, with which you sow the ground, and bread of the increase of the ground. It will be rich and plentiful. In that day your livestock will graze in large pastures. The oxens likewise, the oxen, and the young donkeys that till the ground will eat savory fodder, which has been winnowed with the shovel and with the fork. There will be streams of water on every high mountain and on every hill. On the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall, the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 days. In the day that Yahweh binds up the fracture of his people, and heals the wound they were struck with. Behold, Yahweh's name comes from far away, burning with his anger, and in thick rising smoke. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue is as a devouring fire. His breath is as an overflowing stream, that reaches even to the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of destruction. A bridle that leads to ruin will be in the jaws of the peoples. You will have a song, as in the night when a holy feast is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one marches with a flute to go to Yahweh's mountain, to Israel's rock. Yahweh will cause his glorious voice to be heard, and will show the descent of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and the flame of a devouring fire, with a blast, storm, and hailstones. For through Yahweh's voice the Assyrian will be beaten down, who struck with a rod. Every stroke of the rod of punishment which Yahweh will lay on him will be with the sound of tambourines and harps. He will fight with them in battles, brandishing weapons. For his burning place has long been ready. Yes, for the king it is prepared. He has made its pyre deep and large with fire and much wood. Yahweh's breath, like a stream of sulfur, kindles it. Chapter 31. Woe to those who go down to Egypt for help, and rely on horses, and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they don't look to the Holy One of Israel, and they don't seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise, and will bring disaster, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers, and against the help of those who work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God. Their horses are flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh stretches out his hand, both he who helps will stumble, and he who is helped will fall, and they all will perish together. For Yahweh said to me, as the lion and the young lion growling over his prey, though a multitude of shepherds is called out against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for their noise. So Yahweh of armies will come down to fight on Mount Zion and on its heights. As birds hovering, so Yahweh of armies will protect Jerusalem. He will protect and deliver it. He will pass over and preserve it. Return to him from whom you have deeply revolted, children of Israel. For in that day everyone shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, sin which your own hands have made for yourselves. The Assyrian will fall by the sword, not of man. The sword, not of mankind, shall devour him. He will flee from the sword, and his young men will become subject to forced labor. His rock will pass away by reason of terror, and his princes will be afraid of the banner, says Yahweh, whose fire is in Zion, and his furnace in Jerusalem. Chapter 32. Behold, a king will reign in righteousness, and princes will rule in justice. A man will be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the storm, as streams of water in a dry place, as the shade of a large rock in a weary land. The eyes of those who see will not be dim, and the ears of those who hear will listen. The heart of the rash will understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers will be ready to speak plainly. The fool will no longer be called noble, nor the scoundrel be highly respected. For the fool will speak folly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice profanity, and to speak error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and to cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The ways of the scoundrel are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the humble with lying words, even when the needy speaks right. But the noble devises noble things. He stands firm in noble things. Rise up, you women who are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters, listen to my speech. For days beyond a year you will be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage will fail, the harvest won't come. Tremble, you women who are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip yourselves, make yourselves bare, and put sackcloth on your waist. People will mourn for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, for the soil of my people. Thorns and briars will come up. Yes, for all the joyous houses and the rejoicing city. For the palace will be forsaken. The populous city will be deserted. The hill and the watchtower will be caves forever, a joy of wild donkeys, a pasture of flocks, until the Spirit is poured on us from on high. Then the wilderness will become a fruitful field, and the fruitful field will be considered a forest. Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness will live in the fruitful field. The work of righteousness will be peace. The effect of righteousness will be quietness and confidence forever. My people will live in a peaceful habitation, in safe dwellings, and in quiet resting places. Though hail flattens the forest, and the city is utterly laid low, blessed are you who sow beside all waters, who let the feet of the ox and the donkey range free. Chapter 33. Woe to you who destroy, but you weren't destroyed, and you who betray, but nobody betrayed you. When you have finished destroying, you will be destroyed. When you have finished betraying, you will be betrayed. Yahweh, be gracious to us. We have waited for you. Be our strength every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble. At the noise of the thunder, the peoples fled. When you lift yourself up, the nations were scattered. Your plunder will be gathered as the caterpillar gathers. Men will leap on it as locusts leap. Yahweh is exalted, for he dwells on high. He has filled Zion with justice and righteousness. There will be stability in your times, abundance of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of Yahweh is your treasure. Behold, their valiant ones cry outside. The ambassadors of peace weep bitterly. The highways are desolate. The traveling man ceases. The covenant is broken. The cities are despised. Man is not respected. The land mourns and languishes. Lebanon is confounded and withers away. Sharon is like a desert, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their leaves. Now I will rise up, says Yahweh. Now I will be exalted. Now I will be lifted up. You will conceive chaff. You will give birth to stubble. Your breath is a fire that will devour you. The peoples will be like the burning of lime, like thorns that are cut down and burned in the fire. Hear, you who are far off, what I have done. You who are near, acknowledge my might. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Trembling has seized the godless ones. Who among us can live with the devouring fire? Who among us can live with everlasting burning? He who walks righteously and speaks uprightly, he who despises the gain of oppressions, who gestures with his hand to prohibit the taking of bribes, who stops his ears from hearing of blood and shuts his eyes from looking at evil, he will dwell on high. His place of defense will be the fortress of rocks. His bread will be supplied. His water will be sure. Your eyes will see the king in his beauty. They will see a distant land. Your heart will meditate on the terror. Where is he who counted? Where is he who weighed? Where is he who counted the towers? You will no longer see the fierce people, a people of a deep speech that you can't comprehend, of a foreign tongue that you can't understand. Look at Zion, the city of our appointed festivals. Your eyes will see Jerusalem, a quiet habitation, a tent that shall not be removed. Its stakes will never be pulled up, nor will any of its cords be broken. But there Yahweh will be with us in majesty, a place of broad rivers and streams, in which no galley with oars will go, neither will any gallant ship pass by there. For Yahweh is our judge. Yahweh is our lawgiver. Yahweh is our king. He will save us. Your rigging is loosened. They couldn't strengthen the foot of their mast. They couldn't spread the sail. Then the prey of a great plunder was divided. The lame took the prey. The inhabitant won't say, I am sick. The people who dwell therein will be forgiven their iniquity. Chapter 34. Come near, you nations, to hear. Listen, you peoples. Let the earth and all it contains hear, the world and everything that comes from it. For Yahweh is enraged against all the nations, and angry with all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has given them over to slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and the stench of their dead bodies shall come up. The mountains shall be melted with their blood. All of the army of the sky will be dissolved. The sky will be rolled up like a scroll, and all its armies will fade away, as a leaf fades from off a vine or a fig tree. For my sword has drunk its fill in the sky. Behold, it will come down on Edom and on the people of my curse for judgment. Yahweh's sword is filled with blood. It is covered with fat, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh has a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. The wild ox will come down with them, and the young bulls with the mighty bulls. Their land will be drunken with blood, and their dust made greasy with fat. For it is Yahweh's day of vengeance, the year of recompense for the cause of Zion. Its streams will be turned into pitch, its dust into sulfur, and its land will become burning pitch. It won't be quenched night or day. Its smoke will go up forever. From generation to generation, it will lie waste. No one will pass through it forever and ever. But the pelican and the porcupine will possess it. owl and the raven will dwell in it. He will stretch the line of confusion over it, and the plumb line of emptiness. They shall call its nobles to the kingdom, but none shall be there. All its princes shall be nothing. Thorns will come up in its palaces, nettles and thistles in its fortresses. It will be a habitation of jackals, a court for ostriches. The wild animals of the desert will meet with the wolves, and the wild goat will cry to his fellow. Yes, the night creature will settle there, and will find herself a place of rest. The tree snake will make her nest there, and lay, hatch, and gather under her shade. Yes, the kites will be gathered there, every one with her mate. Search in the book of Yahweh, and read, not one of these will be missing. None will lack her mate. For my mouth has commanded, and his spirit has gathered them. He has cast the lot for them, and his hand has divided it to them with a measuring line. They shall possess it forever. From generation to generation, they will dwell in it. Chapter 35. The wilderness and the dry land will be glad. The desert will rejoice and blossom like a rose. It will blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon will be given to it, the excellence of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see Yahweh's glory, the excellence of our God. Strengthen the weak hands and make firm the feeble knees. Tell those who have a fearful heart, be strong. Don't be afraid. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, God's retribution. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind will be opened, and the ears of the deaf will be unstopped. Then the lame man will leap like a deer, and the tongue of the mute will sing. For waters will break out in the wilderness, and streams in the desert. The burning sand will become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. Grass with reeds and rushes will be in the habitation of jackals, where they lay. A highway will be there, a road, and it will be called the Holy Way. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it will be for the redeemed. The wayfaring men, yes fools, shall not err in it. No lion will be there, nor will any ravenous animal go up on it. They will not be found there, but the redeemed will walk there. The Yahweh's ransomed ones will return and come with singing to Zion. Everlasting joy will be on their heads. They will obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing will flee away. Chapter 36. Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib king of Assyria attacked all of the fortified cities of Judah and took them. Sennacherib king of Assyria sent the Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem to King Hezekiah with a large army. He stood by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. Then Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, went out to him with Shebna the scribe, and Jua the son of Asaph, the recorder. The Rabshakeh said to them, Now tell Hezekiah, the great king, the king of Assyria, says, What confidence is this in which you trust? I say that your counsel and strength for war are only vain words. Now in whom do you trust, that you have rebelled against me? Behold, you trust in the staff of this broken reed, Egypt, which if a man leans on it, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all who trust in him. But if you tell me, We trust in Yahweh our God, isn't that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and has said to Judah and to Jerusalem, You shall worship before this altar? Now therefore, make a pledge please to my master the king of Assyria, and I will give you 2,000 horses, if you are able on your part to set riders on them. How then can you turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put your trust in Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Have I come up without Yahweh against this land to destroy it? Yahweh said to me, Go up against this land and destroy it. Then Eliakim, Shebna, and Joah said to the Rabshakeh, Please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it. Don't speak to us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people who are on the wall. But the Rabshakeh said, Has my master sent me only to your master, and to you, to speak these words? Hasn't he sent me to the men who sit on the wall, to eat their own dung, and to drink their own urine with you? Then the Rabshakeh stood and called out with a loud voice in the Jews' language and said, "Hear the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. The king says, don't let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you. Don't let Hezekiah make you trust in Yahweh, saying, Yahweh will surely deliver us. This city won't be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Don't listen to Hezekiah, for the king of Assyria says, make your peace with me and come out to me. Then each of you will eat from his own vine, and each from his own fig tree, and each of you will drink water from his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and new wine, a land of bread and vineyards. Beware lest Hezekiah persuaded you, saying, Yahweh will deliver us. Have any of the gods of the nations delivered their lands from the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim? Have they delivered Samaria from my hand? Who are they among all the gods of these countries that have delivered their country out of my hand, that Yahweh should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But they remained silent and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was, don't answer him. Then Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, came with Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder, to Hezekiah with their clothes torn, and told him the words of the Rabshakeh. Chapter 37. When King Hezekiah heard it, he tore his clothes, covered himself with sackcloth, and went into Yahweh's house. He sent Eliakim, who was over the household, Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, to Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz. They said to him, Hezekiah says, this day is a day of trouble, rebuke, and contempt. For children have come to the point of birth, and there is no strength to deliver them. It may be that Yahweh your God will hear the words of the Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria his master has sent to defy the living God, and will rebuke the words which Yahweh your God has heard. Therefore, lift up your prayer for the remnant that is left. So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah. Isaiah said to them, tell your master, Yahweh says, don't be afraid of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will put a spirit in him, and he will hear news and will return to his own land. I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So the Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah. For he had heard that he had departed from Lachish. He heard it said concerning Tirhakah king of Ethiopia, he has come out to fight against you. When he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, don't let your God in whom you trust deceive you, saying, Jerusalem will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands. By destroying them utterly, will you be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them, those whom my fathers have destroyed? Gozan, Haran, Rezeph, and the children of Eden, who were in Telassar. Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, of Hena and Ivah? Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. Then Hezekiah went up to Yahweh's house and spread it before Yahweh. Hezekiah prayed to Yahweh, saying, Yahweh of armies, the God of Israel, who is enthroned among the cherubim, you are the God, even you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, Yahweh, and hear. Open your eyes, Yahweh, and see. Hear all the words of Sennacherib, who has sent to defy the living God. Truly, Yahweh, the kings of Assyria have destroyed all the countries and their land, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, Yahweh our God, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you are Yahweh, even you only. Then Isaiah the son of Amoz sent to Hezekiah, saying, Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, because you have prayed to me against Sennacherib king of Assyria, this is the word which Yahweh has spoken concerning him. The virgin daughter of Zion has despised you and ridiculed you. The daughter of Jerusalem has shaken her head at you. Whom have you defied and blasphemed? Against whom have you exalted your voice and lifted up your eyes on high? Against the Holy One of Israel. By your servants you have defied the Lord, and have said, with the multitude of my chariots I have come up to the height of the mountains, to the innermost parts of Lebanon. I will cut down its tall cedars and its choice fir trees. I will enter into its farthest height, the forest of its fruitful field. I have dug and drunk water. With the sole of my feet I will dry up all the rivers of Egypt. Haven't you heard how I have done it long ago, and planned it in ancient times? Now I have brought it to pass, that you should make fortified cities into ruinous heaps. Therefore their inhabitants had little power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were like the grass of the field, and like the green herb, like the grass on the housetops, and like a field before its grain is ripe. But I know you're sitting down, and you're going out, and you're coming in, and you're raging against me. Because of your raging against me, and because your arrogance has come up into my ears, therefore I will put my hook in your nose and my bridle in your lips, and I will turn you back by the way which you came. This will be the sign to you. You will eat this year that which grows of itself, and in the second year that which springs from the same. In the third year sow and reap, plant vineyards, and eat their fruit. The remnant that has escaped of the house of Judah will again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem a remnant will go out, and out of Mount Zion those who shall escape. The zeal of Yahweh of armies will perform this. Therefore Yahweh says concerning the king of Assyria, he will not come to this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a mound against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and he shall not come to this city, says Yahweh. For I will defend this city to save it, for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. The angel of Yahweh went out and struck 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. When men arose early in the morning, behold, these were all dead bodies. So Sennacherib king of Assyria departed, went away, returned, and lived at Nineveh. As he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch his god, his sons Adramelech and Sharezer struck him with the sword. They escaped into the land of Ararat, and Esarhaddon his son reigned in his place. Chapter 38. In those days Hezekiah was sick and near death. Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, came to him and said, Yahweh says, set your house in order, for you will die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face to the wall, and prayed to Yahweh, and said, remember now, Yahweh, I beg you, how I have walked before you in truth and with a whole heart, and have done what is good in your sight. And Hezekiah wept bitterly. Then Yahweh's word came to Isaiah, saying, go and tell Hezekiah, Yahweh, the God of David your father, says, I have heard your prayer, I have seen your tears. Behold, I will add 15 years to your life. I will deliver you and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city. This will be the sign to you, from Yahweh, that Yahweh will do this thing that he has spoken. Behold, I will cause the shadow on the sundial, which has gone down on the sundial of Ahaz, to return backward 10 steps. So the sun returned 10 steps on the sundial on which it had gone down. The writing of Hezekiah king of Judah, when he had been sick and had recovered from his sickness. I said, in the middle of my days I will go into the gates of Sheol. I am deprived of the residue of my years, I said. I won't see Yahweh, in the land of the living. I will see man no more with the inhabitants of the world. My dwelling is removed and is carried away from me like a shepherd's tent. I have rolled up my life like a weaver. He will cut me off from the loom. From day even to night you will make an end of me. I waited patiently until morning. He broke all my bones like a lion. From day even to night you will make an end of me. I chattered like a swallow or a crane. I moaned like a dove, my eyes weakened looking upward. Lord, I am oppressed. Be my security. What will I say? He has both spoken to me and himself has done it. I will walk carefully all my years because of the anguish of my soul. Lord, men live by these things, and my spirit finds life in all of them. You restore me and cause me to live. Behold, it was for my own peace that I had great anguish. But you have delivered my soul from the pit of corruption, for you have cast all my sins behind your back. For Sheol can't praise you, death can't celebrate you. Those who go down into the pit can't hope for your truth. The living, he shall praise you, as I do this day. The Father shall make your truth known to the children. Yahweh will save me. Therefore we will sing my songs with stringed instruments all the days of our life in Yahweh's house. Now Isaiah had said, Let them take a cake of figs and lay it for a poultice on the boil, and he shall recover. Hezekiah also had said, What is the sign that I will go up to Yahweh's house? Chapter 39. At that time, Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he heard that he had been sick and had recovered. Hezekiah was pleased with them, and showed them his treasure house, the silver, the gold, the spices, the precious oil, all his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah didn't show them. Then Isaiah the prophet came to King Hezekiah, and said to him, What did these men say? And where did they come from to you? Hezekiah said, They have come from a far country to me, even from Babylon. Then he said, What have they seen in your house? Hezekiah answered, They have seen all that is in my house. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not shown them. Then Isaiah said to Hezekiah, Hear Yahweh of armies' word. Behold, the days are coming when all that is in your house, and that which your fathers have stored up until this day, will be carried to Babylon. Nothing will be left, says Yahweh, of your sons who will proceed from you, whom you shall father. Some will be taken away. They will be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then Hezekiah said to Isaiah, Yahweh's word which you have spoken is good. He said moreover, For there will be peace and truth in my days. Chapter 40. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem, and call out to her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, that she has received from Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. The voice of one who calls out, Prepare the way of Yahweh in the wilderness. Make a straight highway in the desert for our God. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. The uneven shall be made level, and the rough places a plain. Yahweh's glory shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. The voice of one saying, Cry. And one said, What shall I cry? All flesh is like grass, and all its glory is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flower fades, because Yahweh's breath blows on it. Surely the people are like grass. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God stands forever. You who tell good news to Zion, go up on a high mountain. You who tell good news to Jerusalem, lift up your voice with strength, lift it up, don't be afraid. Say to the cities of Judah, Behold your God. Behold, the Lord Yahweh will come as a mighty one, and his arm will rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. He will feed his flock like a shepherd. He will gather the lambs in his arm, and carry them in his bosom. He will gently lead those who have their young. Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and marked off the sky with his span, and calculated the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance? Who has directed Yahweh's spirit, or has taught him as his counselor? Who did he take counsel with, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of justice, and taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are like a drop in a bucket, and are regarded as a speck of dust on a balance. Behold, he lifts up the islands like a very little thing. Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor its animals sufficient for a burnt offering. All the nations are like nothing before him. They are regarded by him as less than nothing and vanity. To whom then will you liken God? Or what likeness will you compare to him? A workman has cast an image, and the goldsmith overlays it with gold, and casts silver chains for it. He who is too poor for that offering chooses a tree that will not rot. He seeks a skilled workman to set up an engraved image for him that will not be moved. Haven't you known? Haven't you heard? Haven't you been told from the beginning? Haven't you understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers. He who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in, who brings rulers to nothing, who makes the judges of the earth like vanity. They are planted scarcely, they are sown scarcely. Their stalk has scarcely taken root in the ground. He merely blows on them, and they wither, and the whirlwind takes them away as stubble. To whom then will you liken me? Who is my equal, says the Holy One. Lift up your eyes on high, and see who has created these, who brings out their army by number. He calls them all by name, by the greatness of his might, and because he is strong in power, not one is lacking. Why do you say Jacob, and speak, Israel? My way is hidden from Yahweh, and the justice due me is overlooked by my God. Haven't you known? Haven't you heard? The everlasting God, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, doesn't faint. He isn't weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak. He increases the strength of him who has no might. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait for Yahweh will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Chapter 41. Keep silent before me, islands, and let the peoples renew their strength. Let them come near, then let them speak. Let's meet together for judgment. Who has raised up one from the east? Who called him to his foot in righteousness? He hands nations before him, and makes him rule over kings. He gives them like the dust to his sword, and like the driven stubble to his bow. He pursues them, and passes by safely, even by a way that he had not gone with his feet. Who has worked and done this, calling the generations from the beginning? I, Yahweh, the first, and with the last, I am he. The islands have seen, and are afraid. The ends of the earth tremble. They approach and come. Everyone helps his neighbor. They say to their brothers, "Be strong." So the carpenter encourages the goldsmith. He who smooths with the hammer encourages him who strikes the anvil, saying of the soldering, "It is good." He fastens it with nails, so that it won't be moved. But you, Israel, my servant, Jacob whom I have chosen, the offspring of Abraham my friend, you whom I have taken hold of from the ends of the earth, and called from its corners, and said to you, "You are my servant. I have chosen you and not cast you away." Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all those who are angry with you will be disappointed and confounded. Those who strive against you will be like nothing and shall perish. You will seek them and won't find them, even those who contend with you. Those who war against you will be as nothing, as a non-existent thing. For I, Yahweh your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, "Don't be afraid, I will help you. Don't be afraid, you worm Jacob, and you men of Israel. I will help you, says Yahweh, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I have made you into a new sharp threshing instrument with teeth. You will thresh the mountains and beat them small, and will make the hills like chaff. You will winnow them, and the wind will carry them away, and the whirlwind will scatter them. You will rejoice in Yahweh. You will glory in the Holy One of Israel. The poor and needy seek water, and there is none. Their tongue fails for thirst. I, Yahweh, will answer them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers on the bare heights, and springs in the middle of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will put cedar, acacia, myrtle, and oil trees in the wilderness. I will set cypress trees, pine and box trees together in the desert, that they may see, know, consider, and understand together that Yahweh's hand has done this, and the Holy One of Israel has created it. Produce your cause, says Yahweh. Bring out your strong reasons, says the King of Jacob. Let them announce and declare to us what will happen. Declare the former things, what they are, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or show us things to come. Declare the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that you are gods. Yes, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and see it together. Behold, you are nothing, and your work is nothing. He who chooses you is an abomination. I have raised up one from the north, and he has come. From the rising of the sun, he will call on my name. He will come on rulers as on mortar, and as a potter treads clay. Who has declared it from the beginning that we may know, and before that we may say, he is right? Surely no one declares. Surely no one shows. Surely no one hears your words. I am the first to say to Zion, behold, look at them. I will give to Jerusalem one who brings good news. When I look, there is no man. Even among them there is no counselor, who when I ask of them, can answer a word. Behold, they are all vanity. Their works are nothing. Their molten images are wind and confusion. Chapter 42. Behold my servant whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit on him. He will bring justice to the nations. He will not shout, nor raise his voice, nor cause it to be heard in the street. He won't break a bruised reed. He won't quench a dimly burning wick. He will faithfully bring justice. He will not fail, nor be discouraged, until he has set justice in the earth, and the islands will wait for his law. Yahweh God, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread out the earth and that which comes out of it, who gives breath to its people and spirit to those who walk in it, says, I, Yahweh, have called you in righteousness, and will hold your hand, and will keep you, and make you a covenant for the people, as a light for the nations, to open the blind eyes, to bring the prisoners out of the dungeon, and those who sit in darkness out of the prison. I am Yahweh. That is my name. I will not give my glory to another, nor my praise to engraved images. Behold, the former things have happened, and I declare new things. I tell you about them before they come up. Sing to Yahweh a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. You who go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the islands and their inhabitants. Let the wilderness and its cities raise their voices, with the villages that Kedar inhabits. Let the inhabitants of Selah sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory to Yahweh, and declare his praise in the islands. Yahweh will go out like a mighty man. He will stir up zeal like a man of war. He will raise a war cry. Yes, he will shout aloud. He will triumph over his enemies. I have been silent a long time. I have been quiet and restrained myself. Now I will cry out like a travailing woman. I will both pant and gasp. I will make mountains and hills waste. I will dry up all their herbs. I will make the rivers into islands, and will dry up the pools. I will bring blind by a way that they don't know. I will lead them in paths that they don't know. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight. I will do these things, and I will not forsake them. They shall be turned back. They shall be utterly disappointed, who trust in engraved images, who tell molten images, you are our gods. Hear, you deaf, and look, you blind, that you may see. Who is blind but my servant? Or who is as deaf as my messenger whom I send? Who is as blind as he who is at peace with me, and as blind as Yahweh's servant? You see many things, but don't observe. His ears are open, but he doesn't listen. It pleased Yahweh, for his righteousness' sake, to magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a robbed and plundered people. They are all of them snared in holes and hidden in prison houses. They are prey and no one delivers them, a spoil and no one says, restore them. Who is there among you who will give ear to this, who will listen and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob as plunder and Israel to the robbers? Didn't Yahweh, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, and they disobeyed his law. Therefore he poured on him the fierceness of his anger, and the strength of battle. It set him on fire all around, and he didn't know it. It burned him, and he didn't take it to heart. Chapter 43. But now, Yahweh who created you, Jacob, and he who formed you, Israel, says, "Don't be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they will not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and flame will not scorch you. For I am Yahweh your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. I have given Egypt as your ransom, Ethiopia and Seba in your place. Since you have been precious and honored in my sight, and I have loved you, I will give people in your place, and nations instead of your life. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. I will bring your offspring from the east, and gather you from the west. I will tell the north, give them up, and tell the south, don't hold them back. Bring my sons from far away, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Everyone who is called by my name, and whom I have created for my glory, whom I have formed, yes, whom I have made. Bring out the blind people who have eyes, and the deaf who have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the peoples be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear, and say, it is true. You are my witnesses, says Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, and understand that I am He. Before me there was no God formed, neither will there be after me. I am Yahweh, besides me there is no Savior. I have declared, I have saved, and I have shown, and there was no strange God among you. Therefore you are my witnesses, says Yahweh, and I am God. Yes, since the day was, I am He. There is no one who can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who can hinder it? Yahweh, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel says, for your sake, I have sent to Babylon, and I will bring all of them down as fugitives, even the Chaldeans, in the ships of their rejoicing. I am Yahweh, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Yahweh, who makes a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, who brings out the chariot and horse, the army and the mighty man. They lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched like a wick, says. Don't remember the former things, and don't consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. It springs out now. Don't you see it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The animals of the field shall honor me, the jackals and the ostriches, because I give water in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people which I formed for myself, that they might set forth my praise. Yet you have not called on me, Jacob, but you have been weary of me, Israel. You have not brought me the small livestock of your burnt offerings, neither have you honored me with your sacrifices. I have not burdened you with offerings, nor wearied you with incense. You have bought me no sweet cane with money, neither have you filled me with the fat of your sacrifices. But you have burdened me with your sins. You have wearied me with your iniquities. I, even I, am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake, and I will not remember your sins. Put me in remembrance. Let's plead together. Declare your case, that you may be justified. Your first father sinned, and your teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore the princes of the sanctuary will I profane, and I will make Jacob a curse, and Israel a reviling. Chapter 44. Yet now listen, Jacob my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Yahweh who made you, and formed you from the womb, who will help you, says, don't be afraid, Jacob my servant, and you, Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water on him who is thirsty, and floods on the dry ground. I will pour my spirit on your offspring, and my blessing on your descendants. They will spring up among the grass, as willows by the watercourses. One will say, I am Yahweh's. Another will be called by the name of Jacob. Another will write with his hand, Yahweh's, and name himself by the name of Israel. Yahweh, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, Yahweh of armies says, I am the first, and I am the last, and besides me there is no God. Who is like me? Who will call and will declare it, and set it in order for me, since I established the ancient people, and let them declare the things that are coming, and that will happen. Don't fear, neither be afraid. Haven't I declared it to you long ago and shown it? You are my witnesses. Is there a God besides me? Indeed there is not. I don't know any other rock. Those who make engraved images are all of them vanity. Their precious things shall not profit, and their own witnesses don't see nor know, that they may be ashamed. Who has fashioned a god, or molds an image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen are mere men. Let them all be gathered together, let them stand up, they shall fear, they shall be ashamed together. The blacksmith takes an axe, works in the coals, fashions it with hammers, and works it with his strong arm. He is hungry, and his strength fails. He drinks no water and is faint. The carpenter stretches out a line. He marks it out with a pencil. He shapes it with planes. He marks it out with a compass, and shapes it like the figure of a man, with the beauty of a man, to dwell in a house. He cuts down cedars for himself, and takes the cypress and the oak, and strengthens for himself one among the trees of the forest. He plants a fir tree, and the rain nourishes it. Then it will be for a man to burn, for he will take some of it and warm himself. Yes, he burns it and bakes bread. Yes, he makes a god and worships it. He makes it an engraved image and bows down to it. He burns part of it in the fire. With part of it he eats meat. He roasts a roast and is satisfied. Yes, he warms himself and says, "Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire." The rest of it he makes into a god, even his engraved image. He bows down to it and worships and prays to it and says, "Deliver me, for you are my God." They don't know, neither do they consider, for he has shut their eyes, that they can't see, and their hearts, that they can't understand. No one thinks, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, "I have burned part of it in the fire. Yes, I have also baked bread on its coals. I have roasted meat and eaten it. Shall I make the rest of it into an abomination? Shall I bow down to a tree trunk?" He feeds on ashes. A deceived heart has turned him aside. He can't deliver his soul, or say, "Isn't there a lie in my right hand?" Remember these things, Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I have formed you. You are my servant, Israel, you will not be forgotten by me. I have blotted out as a thick cloud your transgressions, and as a cloud your sins. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. Sing heavens, for Yahweh has done it. Shout, you lower parts of the earth. Break out into singing, you mountains, O forest, and every tree in it, for Yahweh has redeemed Jacob, and will glorify himself in Israel. Yahweh, your Redeemer, and he who formed you from the womb, says, "I am Yahweh, who makes all things, who alone stretches out the heavens, who spreads out the earth by myself, who frustrates the signs of the liars, and makes diviners mad, who turns wise men backward, and makes their knowledge foolish, who confirms the word of his servant, and performs the counsel of his messengers, who says of Jerusalem, she will be inhabited, and of the cities of Judah, they will be built, and I will raise up its waste places, who says to the deep, be dry, and I will dry up your rivers, who says of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure, saying of Jerusalem, she will be built, and of the temple, your foundation will be laid. Chapter 45. Yahweh says to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have held, to subdue nations before him, and strip kings of their armor, to open the doors before him, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before you, and make the rough places smooth. I will break the doors of bronze in pieces, and cut apart the bars of iron. I will give you the treasures of darkness, and hidden riches of secret places, that you may know that it is I, Yahweh, who calls you by your name, even the God of Israel. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel my chosen, I have called you by your name. I have given you a title, though you have not known me. I am Yahweh, and there is no other. Besides me, there is no God. I will strengthen you, though you have not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun, and from the west, that there is no one besides me. I am Yahweh, and there is no one else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create calamity. I am Yahweh, who does all these things. Distill, you heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, and let salvation and righteousness spring up. Let them bring forth together. I, Yahweh, have created it. Woe to him who strives with his maker, a clay pot among the clay pots of the earth. Shall the clay ask him who fashions it, "What are you making?" Or your work, "He has no hands." Woe to him who says to a father, "What have you become the father of?" Or to a mother, "What have you given birth to?" Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker says, "You ask me about the things that are to come, concerning my sons. And you command me concerning the work of my hands. I have made the earth, and created man on it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and I have commanded all their army. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will make all his ways straight. He shall build my city, and he shall let my exiles go free, not for price nor reward, says Yahweh of armies. Yahweh says, the labor of Egypt, the merchandise of Ethiopia, and the Sabaeans, men of stature, will come over to you and be yours. They will follow after you. They will come over in chain. They will bow down to you. They will make supplication to you, saying, "Surely God is in you, and there is no one else. There is no other God. Most certainly, you are a God who hides himself, God of Israel, the Savior." They are put to shame, yes, confounded, all of them. Those who are makers of idols have gone into confusion together. Israel is saved by Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. You will not be put to shame, nor confounded for ages everlasting. For Yahweh says, He who created the heavens, the God who formed the earth and made it, who established it and didn't create it a waste, who formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh, and there is no other. I have not spoken in secret, in a place of the land of darkness. I didn't say to the offspring of Jacob, "Seek me in vain." I, Yahweh, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. Assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together, you who have escaped from the nations. Those have no knowledge who carry the wood of their engraved image and pray to a God that can't save. Declare and present it. Yes, let them take counsel together. Who has chosen from ancient times? Who has declared it of old? Haven't I, Yahweh? There is no other God besides me, a just God and a Savior. There is no one besides me. Look to me and be saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God and there is no other. I have sworn by myself. The word has gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and will not return, that to me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear. They will say of me, there is righteousness and strength only in Yahweh. Even to him shall men come. All those who were angry against him shall be put to shame. In Yahweh, all the offspring of Israel will be justified and will glory. Chapter 46. Bel bows down, Nebo stoops. Their idols are on the animals and on the livestock. The things that you carried around are made a load, a burden to the weary beast. They stoop, they bow down together. They could not deliver the burden, but they themselves have gone into captivity. Listen to me. House of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, that have been carried from their birth, that have been carried from the womb, even to old age I am he, and even to gray hairs I will carry you. I have made and I will bear. Yes, I will carry and will deliver. To whom will you liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be like? Some lavish gold out of the bag, and weigh silver in the balance. They hire a goldsmith, and he makes it a god. They fall down. Yes, they worship. They carry it on the shoulder. They carry it and set it in its place, and it stands and doesn't move from its place. Yes, one may cry to it, yet it can't answer, and can't save him out of his trouble. Remember this, and be courageous. Bring it to mind again, you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is no one like me. I declare the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things that are not yet done. I say, my counsel will stand, and I will do all that I please. I call a ravenous bird from the east, the man of my counsel from a far country. Yes, I have spoken, and I will also bring it to pass. I have planned, and I will also do it. Listen to me, you stubborn-hearted who are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness. It is not far off. My salvation will not wait. I will grant salvation to Zion, my glory to Israel. Chapter 47. Come down and sit in the dust, virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground without a throne, daughter of the Chaldeans. For you shall no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil, lift up your skirt, uncover your leg. Pass through the rivers, your nakedness shall be uncovered. Yes, your shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and will spare no one. Our Redeemer, Yahweh of armies is his name, is the Holy One of Israel. Sit in silence and go into darkness, daughter of the Chaldeans, for you shall no more be called the mistress of kingdoms. I was angry with my people. I profaned my inheritance and gave them into your hand. You showed them no mercy. You laid a very heavy yoke on the elderly. You said, I shall be a mistress forever. You didn't lay these things to your heart. You didn't remember the latter end of it. Now therefore hear this. You who are given to pleasures, who sit securely, who say in your heart, I am, and there is no one else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to you in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come on you in full measure, despite your many sorceries, despite the great abundance of your enchantments. You felt secure in your wickedness. You said, no one sees me. Your wisdom and your knowledge have perverted you. You have said in your heart, I am, and there is no one else besides me. Therefore disaster shall come on you. You won't know when it dawns. Mischief shall fall on you. You won't be able to put it away. Desolation shall come on you suddenly, which you don't know. Stand now with your enchantments, and with the multitude of your sorceries, in which you have labored from your youth, if perhaps you may profit, if perhaps you may prevail. You are wearied in the multitude of your counsels. Now let the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save you from the things that will happen to you. Behold, they are like stubble. The fire will burn them. They won't deliver themselves from the power of the flame. It won't be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before. The merchants who have traded with you from your youth will each wander to his own quarter. There will be no one to save you. Chapter 48. Hear this, house of Jacob, you who are called by the name of Israel, and have come out of the waters of Judah, who swear by Yahweh's name, and make mention of the God of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness, for they call themselves of the holy city, and rely on the God of Israel. Yahweh of armies is his name. I have declared the former things from of old. Yes, they went out of my mouth, and I revealed them. I did them suddenly, and they happened. Because I knew that you are obstinate, and your neck is an iron sinew, and your brow brass, therefore I have declared it to you from of old. Before it came to pass, I shown it to you, lest you should say, my idol has done them, and my engraved image and my cast image have commanded them. You have heard it. See all this, and you, won't you declare it? I have shown you new things from this time, even hidden things which you have not known. They are created now, and not from of old, and before this day you didn't hear them, lest you should say, behold, I knew them. Yes, you didn't hear. Yes, you didn't know. Yes, from of old your ear was not opened, for I knew that you dealt very treacherously, and you were called a transgressor from the womb. For my name's sake, I will defer my anger, and for my praise I will refrain it from you, so that I don't cut you off. Behold, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake I will do it. For how should my name be profaned? I will not give my glory to another. Listen to me, Jacob, and Israel my called. I am he, I am the first, I am also the last. Yes, my hand has laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand has spread out the heavens. When I call to them, they stand up together. Assemble, all of you, and hear. Who among them has declared these things? He whom Yahweh loves will perform his pleasure on Babylon, and demonstrate his arm on the Chaldeans. Even I, have spoken. Yes, I have called him. I have brought him, and he shall make his way prosperous. Come near to me, and hear this. From the beginning I have not spoken in secret. From the time that it was, I was there. And now the Lord Yahweh has sent me with his Spirit. Yahweh, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, says, I am Yahweh your God, who teaches you to profit, who leads you by the way that you should go. Oh, that you had listened to my commandments. Then your peace would have been like a river, and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. Your offspring also would have been like the sand, and the descendants of your body like its grains. His name would not be cut off, nor destroyed from before me. Go out from Babylon, flee from the Chaldeans. With a voice of singing, declare this and make it heard. Carry it out to the end of the earth. Say, Yahweh has redeemed his servant Jacob. They didn't thirst when he led them through the deserts. He caused the waters to flow out of the rock for them. He split the rock also, and the waters gushed out. There is no peace, says Yahweh, for the wicked. Chapter 49. Listen, islands, to me. Listen, you peoples, from far away. Yahweh has called me from the womb. From the inside of my mother he has mentioned my name. He has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand he has hidden me. He has made me a polished arrow. In his quiver he has kept me close. He said to me, You are my servant Israel, in whom I will be glorified. But I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for nothing and vanity. Yet surely the justice due to me is with Yahweh, and my reward with my God. Now Yahweh says, He who formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, and that Israel might be gathered to him. For I am honorable in Yahweh's eyes, and my God has become my strength. He says, It is too light a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give you as a light to the nations, that you may be my salvation to the end of the earth. Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel, his Holy One, says to him who is despised, to him who is abhorred by the nation, to him who is a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of Yahweh who is faithful, the Holy One of Israel, who has chosen you. Yahweh says, In an acceptable time I have answered you, and in a day of salvation I have helped you. I will preserve you, and give you as a covenant of the people, to raise up the land, to make them inherit the desolate heritage. Saying to the prisoners, Come out, to those who are in darkness. Show yourselves, they shall feed along the roads, and their pasture shall be on all bare heights. They shall not hunger nor thirst. The heat and the sun shall not strike them, for he who has mercy on them will lead them. Even by springs of water he will guide them. I will make all my mountains a road, and my highways shall be raised up. Behold, these shall come from far away, and behold, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim. Sing, heavens, and be joyful, earth, and break out into singing, mountains, for Yahweh has comforted his people, and will have compassion on his afflicted. But Zion said, Yahweh has forsaken me, and the Lord has forgotten me. Can a woman forget her nursing child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yes, these may forget, yet I will not forget you. Behold, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. Your children make haste. Your destroyers and those who made you waste shall go away from you. Lift up your eyes all around and see. All these gather themselves together and come to you. As I live, says Yahweh, you shall surely clothe yourself with them all, as with an ornament, and dress yourself with them, like a bride. For your waste and your desolate places, and your land that has been destroyed, shall even now be too small for the inhabitants, and those who swallowed you up shall be far away. The children of your bereavement shall yet say in your ears, This place is too small for me. Give me a place to live. Then you will say in your heart, Who has conceived these for me? Since I have been bereaved of my children, and am solitary, an exile, and wandering back and forth. Who has brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These, where were they? The Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I will lift up my hand to the nations, and set up my banner to the peoples. They shall bring your sons in their bosom, and your daughters shall be carried on their shoulders. Kings shall be your nursing fathers, and their queens your nursing mothers. They shall bow down to you with their faces to the earth, and lick the dust of your feet. Then you shall know that I am Yahweh. Those who wait for me shall not be disappointed. But Zion said, Can the plunder be taken from the mighty, or the captives of the righteous be delivered? Yahweh says, Even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the plunder retrieved from the fierce. I will contend with him who contends with you, and I will save your children. I will feed those who oppress you with their own flesh. They shall be drunk with their own blood as with sweet wine. All flesh shall know that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. Chapter 50. Yahweh says, Where is the bill of your mother's divorce, with which I have put her away? Or which of my creditors have I sold you to? Behold, you were sold for your iniquities, and your mother was put away for your transgressions. Why, when I came, was there no one? When I called, was there no one to answer? Is my hand shortened so that it can't redeem, or have I no power to deliver? Behold, with my rebuke I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stink because there is no water, and they die for thirst. I clothe the heavens with blackness, and make sackcloth their covering. The Lord Yahweh has given me the tongue of those who are taught, that I may know how to sustain with words him who is weary. He wakens morning by morning. He wakens my ear to hear as those who are taught. The Lord Yahweh has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious. I didn't turn away backward. I gave my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who plucked off the hair. I didn't hide my face from shame and spitting. For the Lord Yahweh will help me. Therefore I have not been confounded. Therefore I have set my face like a flint, and I know that I shall not be disappointed. He who justifies me is near. Who will bring charges against me? Let us stand up together. Who is my adversary? Let him come near to me. Behold, the Lord Yahweh will help me. Who is he who will condemn me? Behold, they shall all wear out like a garment. The moth shall eat them up. Who among you fears Yahweh, and obeys the voice of his servant? He who walks in darkness and has no light, let him trust in Yahweh's name, and rely on his God. Behold, all you who kindle a fire, who adorn yourselves with torches around yourselves, walk in the flame of your fire, and among the brands that you have kindled. You shall have this from my hand. You shall lie down in sorrow. Chapter 51. Listen to me, you who follow after righteousness, you who seek Yahweh. Look to the rock you were cut from, and to the hold of the pit you were dug from. Look to Abraham your father, and to Sarah who bore you. For when he was but one I called him, and I blessed him, and made him many. For Yahweh has comforted Zion. He has comforted all her waste places, and has made her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahweh. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Attend to me, my people, and give ear to me, my nation. For instruction shall go out from me, and I will establish my justice for a light of the peoples. My righteousness is near. My salvation has gone out, and my arm shall judge the peoples. The islands shall wait for me, and shall trust my arm. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look at the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wear out like a garment, and its inhabitants shall die like gnats. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Don't fear the reproach of men, neither be afraid of their insults. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation to all generations. Awake, awake, put on strength, arm of Yahweh. Awake as in the days of old, the generations of ancient times. Isn't it you who cut Rahab in pieces, who pierced the monster? Isn't it you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made the depths of the sea a way for the redeemed to pass over? The ransomed of Yahweh shall return, and come with singing to Zion. Everlasting joy shall be on their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy. Sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I, even I, am he who comforts you. Who are you that you are afraid of man who shall die, and of the Son of Man who shall be made as grass? You have forgotten Yahweh your Maker, who stretched out the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and you tremble all the day because of the fury of the oppressor, as he makes ready to destroy. But where is the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile shall be freed in no time. He won't die and go down into the pit, neither shall his bread fail. For I am Yahweh your God, who stirs up the sea so that its waves roar. Yahweh of armies is his name. I have put my words in your mouth, and have covered you in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens, and lay the foundations of the earth, and tell Zion, you are my people. Awake, awake, stand up, Jerusalem, you who have drunk from Yahweh's hand the cup of his wrath. You have drunk the bowl of the cup of staggering, and drained it. There is no one to guide her among all the sons whom she has brought forth. Neither is there any who takes her by the hand among all the sons who she has raised. These two things have happened to you. Who will bemoan you? Desolation and destruction, the famine and the sword. How shall I comfort you? Your sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as an antelope in a net. They are full of Yahweh's wrath, the rebuke of your God. Therefore hear now this, you afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Your Lord Yahweh and your God, who pleads the cause of his people, says, Behold, I have taken out of your hand the cup of staggering, even the bowl of the cup of my wrath. You shall no more drink it again. I will put it into the hand of those who afflict you, who have said to your soul, Bow down, that we may walk over you. You have laid your back like the ground, and like the street, to those who walked over you. Chapter 52. Awake, awake, put on your strength, Zion. Put on your beautiful garments, Jerusalem, the holy city. For from now on the uncircumcised and the unclean shall no more come into you. Shake yourself from the dust. Arise, sit up, Jerusalem. Free yourself from the bonds of your neck, captive daughter of Zion. For Yahweh says, You were sold for nothing, and you shall be redeemed without money. For the Lord Yahweh says, My people went down at the first into Egypt to live there, and the Assyrian has oppressed them without cause. Now therefore, what do I do here, says Yahweh, since my people are taken away for nothing? Those who rule over them mock, and my name is continually blasphemed all day long. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he who speaks. Behold, it is I. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who publishes peace, who brings good news of good, who publishes salvation, who says to Zion, Your God reigns. The voice of your watchmen, they lift up their voice. Together they shout for joy, for they shall see eye to eye when Yahweh returns to Zion. Break out into joy. Sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem, for Yahweh has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. Yahweh has made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Depart, depart, go out from there. Touch no unclean thing, go out from among her. Purify yourselves, you who bear Yahweh's vessels, for you shall not go out in haste, neither shall you go by flight, for Yahweh will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard. Behold, my servant shall deal wisely. He shall be exalted and lifted up, and shall be very high, just as many were astonished at you. His appearance was marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So shall he sprinkle many nations. Kings shall shut their mouths at him, for they will see what had not been told them, and they will understand what they had not heard. Chapter 53. Who has believed our message, and to whom has Yahweh's arm been revealed? For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no good looks or majesty. When we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of suffering and acquainted with disease. He was despised as one from whom men hide their face, and we didn't respect him. Surely he has borne our sickness and carried our suffering, yet we considered him plagued, struck by God and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought our peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone has turned to his own way, and Yahweh has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, yet when he was afflicted, he didn't open his mouth. As a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and as a sheep that before its shearers is silent, so he didn't open his mouth. He was taken away by oppression and judgment. And as for his generation, who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living and stricken for the disobedience of my people, they made his grave with the wicked, and with a rich man in his death, although he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He has caused him to suffer. When you make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his offspring. He shall prolong his days, and Yahweh's pleasure shall prosper in his hand. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light and be satisfied. My righteous servant will justify many by knowledge of himself, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great. He shall divide the plunder with the strong, because he poured out his soul to death, and was counted with the transgressors. Yet he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. Chapter 54. Sing, barren, you who didn't bear. Break out into singing and cry aloud, you who did not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, says Yahweh. Enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch out the curtains of your habitations. Don't spare. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes, for you shall spread out on the right hand and on the left. And your offspring shall possess the nations and settle in desolate cities. Don't be afraid, for you shall not be ashamed. Don't be confounded, for you shall not be disappointed. For you shall forget the shame of your youth, and shall not remember the reproach of your widowhood any more. For your Maker is your husband, Yahweh of armies is his name, and the Holy One of Israel is your Redeemer. He will be called the God of the whole earth. For Yahweh has called you as a wife forsaken and grieved in spirit, even a wife of youth, which he has cast off, says your God. For a small moment I have forsaken you, but I will gather you with great mercies. In overflowing wrath I hid my face from you for a moment, but with everlasting loving kindness I will have mercy on you, says Yahweh your Redeemer. For this is like the days of Noah to me, in that I swore that Noah's waters should no more go over the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you, nor will I rebuke you. For the mountains may depart and the hills be removed, but my loving kindness shall not depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says Yahweh who has mercy on you. You afflicted, tossed with storms, and not comforted, behold, I will lay your stones with colorful gems, and lay your foundations with sapphires. I will make your pinnacles of rubies, your gates of sparkling jewels, and all your walls of precious stones. All your children shall be taught by Yahweh, and great shall be your children's peace. In righteousness you shall be established. You shall be far from oppression, for you shall not be afraid, and far from terror, for it shall not come near you. Behold, they may gather together, but not because of me. Whoever gathers together against you shall fall because of you. Behold, I have created the smith who blows the fire of coals and brings out a weapon for his work. I have also created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of Yahweh's servants, and their righteousness is from me, says Yahweh. Chapter 55. Come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters. He who has no money, come buy and eat. Yes, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which doesn't satisfy? Listen diligently to me, and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in richness. Turn your ear and come to me. Hear, and your soul shall live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him as a witness to the peoples, a leader and commander to the peoples. Behold, you shall call a nation that you don't know, and a nation that didn't know you shall run to you, because of Yahweh your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Seek Yahweh while he may be found. Call on him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return to Yahweh, and he will have mercy on him, to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain comes down and the snow from the sky, and doesn't return there, but waters the earth, and makes it produce and bud, and gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goes out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing I sent it to do. For you shall go out with joy, and be led out with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break out before you into singing, and all the trees of the fields shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn shall come up the cypress tree, instead of the brier shall come up the myrtle tree. This shall be to Yahweh for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. Chapter 56. Yahweh says, Keep justice and do righteousness, for my salvation is near and my righteousness is to be revealed. Blessed is the man who does this, and the Son of Man who holds it fast, who keeps the Sabbath from profaning it, and keeps his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the foreigner who has joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh will surely separate me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree. For Yahweh says, To the eunuchs who keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and hold fast my covenant, I will give them in my house and within my walls, a memorial and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the foreigners who join themselves to Yahweh to serve him, and to love Yahweh's name, to be his servants, everyone who keeps the Sabbath from profaning it, and holds fast my covenant, I will bring these to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted on my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. The Lord Yahweh, who gathers the outcasts of Israel, says, I will yet gather others to him, in addition to his own who are gathered. All you animals of the field, come to devour, all you animals in the forest. His watchmen are blind, they are all without knowledge, they are all mute dogs, they can't bark, they lie down and dream, loving to slumber. Yes, the dogs are greedy. They can never have enough. They are shepherds who have no understanding. They have all turned to their own way, each one to his gain, from every quarter. Come, I will get wine, and we will drink lots of beer. Tomorrow shall be as today, or even much more so. Chapter 57. The righteous perishes, and no man lays it to heart. Merciful men are taken away without anyone considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He enters into peace. They rest in their beds, each one who walks in his uprightness. But draw near here, you sons of the sorceress, the offspring of the adulterer and the prostitute. Against whom do you sport yourselves? Against whom do you make a wide mouth and stick out your tongue? Aren't you children of disobedience, offspring of falsehood? You who inflame yourselves among the oaks, under every green tree, who kill the children in the valleys, under the clefts of the rocks, among the smooth stones of the valley is your portion. They are your lot. You have even poured a drink offering to them. You have offered an offering. Should I be appeased for these things? On a high and lofty mountain you have set your bed. You also went up there to offer sacrifice. Behind the doors and the posts you have set up your memorial, for you have uncovered yourself to someone other than me, and have gone up. You have enlarged your bed and made a covenant with them. You loved their bed where you saw it. You went to the king with oil and increased your perfumes. You sent your ambassadors far off and humbled yourself even to Sheol. You were wearied in the length of your way, yet you didn't say, "It is hopeless." You found a revival of your strength, therefore you weren't faint. Of whom have you been afraid and in fear, that you have lied and haven't remembered me, nor laid it to your heart? Haven't I held my peace even from of old, and you don't fear me? I will declare your righteousness and your works, and they shall not profit you. When you cry out, let those who you have gathered deliver you. But the wind shall take them all away, vanity shall carry them off. But he who takes refuge in me shall inherit the land, and shall possess my holy mountain. He shall say, cast up, prepare the way, take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For the high and lofty one who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy, says, I dwell in the high and holy place, and also with him who is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite. For I will not contend forever, neither will I always be angry. For the spirit would faint before me, and the souls that I have made. For the iniquity of his covetousness I was angry and struck him. I hid myself, and was angry, and he went on backsliding in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways, and will heal him. I will lead him also, and restore comforts to him and to his mourners. I create the fruit of the lips. Peace, peace to him who is far off and to him who is near, says Yahweh, and I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea, for it can't rest, and its waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, says my God, for the wicked. Chapter 58. Cry aloud, don't spare. Lift up your voice like a trumpet, and declare to my people their disobedience, and to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways. As a nation that did righteousness, and didn't forsake the ordinance of their God, they ask me for just ordinances. They delight to draw near to God. Why have we fasted, and you don't see? Why have we afflicted our soul, and you don't notice? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and oppress all your laborers. Behold, you fast for strife and contention, and to strike with the fist of wickedness. You don't fast today, so as to make your voice to be heard on high. Is this the fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to humble his soul? Is it to bow down his head like a reed, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call this a fast and an acceptable day to Yahweh? Isn't this the fast that I have chosen? To release the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Isn't it to distribute your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor, who are cast out to your house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you don't hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light shall break out as the morning, and your healing shall appear quickly. Your righteousness shall go before you. Yahweh's glory shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and Yahweh will answer. You shall cry, and he will say, Here I am. If you take away from among you the yoke, finger-pointing, and speaking wickedly, and if you pour out your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then your light shall rise in darkness, and your obscurity be as the noonday. Yahweh will guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in dry places, and make strong your bones. You shall be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters don't fail. Those who shall be of you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called repairer of the breach, restorer of paths with dwellings. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, and the holy of Yahweh honorable, and if you honor it, not doing your own ways, not finding your own pleasure, speaking your own words, then you shall delight yourself in Yahweh, and I will make you to ride on the high places of the earth, and I will feed you with the heritage of Jacob your father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. Chapter 59. Behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened, that it can't save, neither is his ear heavy, that it can't hear. But your iniquities have separated you and your God. Your sins have hidden his face from you, so that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue mutters wickedness. No one sues in righteousness, and no one pleads in truth. They trust in chaos and speak lies. They conceive mischief and give birth to iniquity. They hatch adder's eggs and weave the spider's web. He who eats of their eggs dies, and that which is crushed breaks out into a viper. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Desolation and destruction are in their paths. They don't know the way of peace, and there is no justice in their ways. They have made crooked paths for themselves. Whoever goes in them doesn't know peace. Therefore justice is far from us, and righteousness doesn't overtake us. We look for light but see darkness, for brightness, but we walk in obscurity. We grope for the wall like the blind. Yes, we grope as those who have no eyes. We stumble at noon as if it were twilight. Among those who are strong, we are as dead men. We all growl like bears and moan like doves. We look for justice, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before you, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. We've transgressed and denied Yahweh, and turned away from following our God, speaking of oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. Justice is turned away backward, and righteousness stands far off. For truth has fallen in the street, and uprightness can't enter. Yes, truth is lacking, and he who departs from evil makes himself a prey. Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no justice. He saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore, his own arm brought salvation to him, and his righteousness sustained him. He put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation on his head. He put on garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a mantle. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay, wrath to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. For he will come as a rushing stream, which the breath of Yahweh drives. A Redeemer will come to Zion, and to those who turn from disobedience in Jacob, says Yahweh. As for me, this is my covenant with them, says Yahweh. My spirit who is on you, and my words which I have put in your mouth, shall not depart out of your mouth, nor out of the mouth of your offspring, nor out of the mouth of your offspring's offspring, says Yahweh, from now on and forever. Chapter 60. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and Yahweh's glory has risen on you. For behold, darkness will cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But Yahweh will arise on you, and his glory shall be seen on you. Nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes all around and see. They all gather themselves together. They come to you. Your sons shall come from far away, and your daughters shall be carried in arms. Then you shall see and be radiant, and your heart shall thrill and be enlarged. For the abundance of the sea shall be turned to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you. The multitude of camels shall cover you, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah. All from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and frankincense, and shall proclaim the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together to you. The rams of Nebaioth shall serve you. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify my glorious house. Who are these who fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the islands shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from far away, their silver and their gold with them. For the name of Yahweh your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified you. Foreigners shall build up your walls, and their kings shall serve you. For in my wrath I struck you, but in my favor I have had mercy on you. Your gates also shall be open continually. They shall not be shut, day nor night, that men may bring to you the wealth of the nations, and their kings led captive. For that nation and kingdom that will not serve you shall perish. Yes, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come to you, the fir tree, the pine, and the box tree together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons of those who afflicted you shall come bowing to you, and all those who despised you shall bow themselves down at the soles of your feet. They shall call you the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas you have been forsaken and hated, so that no man passed through you, I will make you an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. You shall also drink the milk of the nations, and shall nurse at royal breasts. Then you shall know that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For bronze I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood bronze, and for stones iron. I will also make your officers peace, and your rulers righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in your land, desolation nor destruction within your borders. But you shall call your walls salvation, and your gates praise. The sun shall be no more your light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light to you, but Yahweh shall be your everlasting light, and your God your glory. Your sun shall no more go down, neither shall your moon withdraw itself, for Yahweh shall be your everlasting light, and the days of your mourning shall be ended. Your people also shall all be righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. The smallest shall become 1,000, and the least a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in its time. Chapter 61. The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is on me, because Yahweh has anointed me to preach good news to the humble. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and release to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of Yahweh's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to give to those who mourn in Zion the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he may be glorified. They shall build the old wastes, they shall raise up the former desolations. They shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. Strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and foreigners shall be your farmers and your vine-dressers. But you shall be called the priests of Yahweh. Men shall call you the servants of our God. You shall eat the wealth of the nations, and you shall boast in their glory. Instead of your shame you shall have double. Instead of dishonor, they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess double. Everlasting joy shall be theirs. For I, Yahweh, love justice. I hate robbery and iniquity. I will give them their recompense in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. Their offspring shall be known among the nations, and their offspring among the peoples. All who see them shall acknowledge them, that they are a people whom Yahweh has blessed. I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with a garland, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth produces its bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring up, so the Lord Yahweh will cause righteousness and praise to spring up before all the nations. Chapter 62. For Zion's sake I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until her righteousness shines out like the dawn, and her salvation like a burning torch. The nations shall see your righteousness, and all kings your glory, and you shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahweh shall name. You shall also be a crown of beauty in Yahweh's hand, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. You shall no more be called forsaken, neither shall your land any more be called desolate, but you shall be called Hephzibah, and your land Beulah, for Yahweh delights in you, and your land shall be married. For as a young man marries a virgin, so your sons shall marry you. As the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so your God shall rejoice over you. I have set watchmen on your walls, Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace day nor night. You who call on Yahweh, take no rest, and give him no rest until he establishes, and until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Yahweh has sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give your grain to be food for your enemies, and foreigners shall not drink your new wine, for which you have labored. But those who have harvested it shall eat it and praise Yahweh, and those who have gathered it shall drink it in my holy courts. Go through the gates, prepare the way of the people, cast up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up a banner for the peoples. Behold, Yahweh has proclaimed to the end of the earth. Tell the daughter of Zion, behold, your salvation comes. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. They shall call them the holy people, Yahweh's redeemed, and you shall be called sought out, a city not forsaken. Chapter 63. Who is this who comes from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This who is glorious in his clothing, marching in the greatness of his strength. It is I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why are you red in your clothing, and your garments like him who treads in the wine vat? I have trodden the winepress alone. Of the peoples there was no one with me. I trod them in my anger, and trampled them in my wrath. Their lifeblood is sprinkled on my garments, and I have stained all my clothing. For the day of vengeance was in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. I looked, and there was no one to help. I wondered that there was no one to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation to me, and my wrath upheld me. I trod down the peoples in my anger, and made them drunk in my wrath, and I poured out their lifeblood on the earth. I will tell of the loving kindnesses of Yahweh, and the praises of Yahweh, according to all that Yahweh has given to us, and the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he has given to them according to his mercies, and according to the multitude of his loving kindnesses. For he said, surely they are my people, children who will not deal falsely. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them. He lifted them up and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and grieved his Holy Spirit. Therefore he turned and became their enemy, and he himself fought against them. Then he remembered the days of old, Moses and his people, saying, where is he who brought them up out of the sea with the shepherds of his flock? Where is he who put his Holy Spirit among them, who caused his glorious arm to go at Moses' right hand, who divided the waters before them to make himself an everlasting name, who led them through the depths, as a horse in the wilderness, without stumbling? As the cattle that go down into the valley, Yahweh's Spirit caused them to rest. So you led your people to make yourself a glorious name. Look down from heaven and see, from your holy and glorious habitation. Where are your zeal and your mighty acts? Your yearning and your compassion are restrained toward me. For you are our Father, though Abraham doesn't know us, and Israel doesn't acknowledge us. You, Yahweh, are our Father. Our Redeemer from everlasting is your name. Yahweh, why do you make us wander from your ways and harden our heart from your fear? Return for your servants' sake the tribes of your inheritance. Your holy people possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down your sanctuary. We have become as those over whom you never ruled, as those who were not called by your name. Chapter 64. Oh, that you would tear the heavens open, that you would come down, that the mountains might quake at your presence, as when fire kindles the brushwood, and the fire causes the water to boil, to make your name known to your adversaries, that the nations may tremble at your presence. When you did awesome things which we didn't look for, you came down. The mountains quaked at your presence. For from of old men have not heard, nor perceived by the ear, neither has the eye seen a God besides you, who works for him who waits for him. You meet him who rejoices and does righteousness, those who remember you in your ways. Behold, you were angry, and we sinned. In your ways was our continuing, and we shall be saved. For we have all become like one who is unclean, and all our righteousness is like a filthy garment. We all fade like a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, take us away. There is no one who calls on your name, who stirs himself up to take hold of you. For you have hidden your face from us, and have consumed us by means of our iniquities. But now, Yahweh, you are our Father. We are the clay, and you are potter. We all are the work of your hand. Don't be so angry, Yahweh, and don't remember iniquity forever. Behold, look, we beg you, we are all your people. Your holy cities have become a wilderness. Zion has become a wilderness, Jerusalem a desolation. Our holy and beautiful house, where our fathers praised you, has been burned with fire. All our pleasant places are laid waste. Will you refrain yourself for these things, Yahweh? Will you hold your peace and afflict us very severely? Chapter 65. I was ready to be sought by those who didn't ask. I was ready to be found by those who didn't seek me. I said, behold me, to a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day to a rebellious people, who walk in a way that is not good, after their own thoughts, a people who provoke me to my face continually, sacrificing in gardens, and burning incense on bricks, who sit among the graves, and lodge in the secret places, who eat pig's flesh, and broth of abominable things is in their vessels, who say, stand by yourself, don't come near me, for I am holier than you. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burns all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will repay. Yes, I will repay into their bosom, both your own iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, says Yahweh, who have burned incense on the mountains and blasphemed me on the hills. Therefore, I will first measure their work into their bosom. Yahweh says, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one says, don't destroy it, for a blessing is in it, so I will do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. I will bring out offspring from Jacob, and from Judah an inheritor of my mountains. My chosen shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. Sharon shall see a fold of flocks, and the valley of Achor a place for herds to lie down in, for my people who have sought me. But you who forsake Yahweh, who forget my holy mountain, who prepare a table for fortune, and who fill up mixed wine to destiny, I will destine you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you didn't answer. When I spoke, you didn't hear, but you did that which was evil in my eyes, and chose that in which I didn't delight. Therefore the Lord Yahweh says, behold, my servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but you shall be disappointed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall wail for anguish of spirit. You shall leave your name for a curse to my chosen, and the Lord Yahweh will kill you. But he will call his servants by another name, so that he who blesses himself in the earth shall bless himself in the God of truth. And he who swears in the earth shall swear by the God of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hidden from my eyes. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. The former things shall not be remembered, nor come into mind, but be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem to be a delight, and her people a joy. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and delight in my people. The voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her, nor the voice of crying. No more shall there be an infant who lives but a few days, nor an old man who has not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, and the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. They shall build houses and inhabit them, They shall plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat, for as the days of a tree shall be the days of my people, and my chosen shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for calamity, for they are the offspring of Yahweh's blessed, and their descendants with them. It shall happen that before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together. The lion shall eat straw like the ox. Dust shall be the serpent's food. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, says Yahweh. Chapter 66. Yahweh says, Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. What kind of house will you build for me, and what place shall be my rest? For my hand has made all these things, and so all these things came to be, says Yahweh. But to this man will I look, to him who is poor and of a contrite spirit, and who trembles at my word. He who kills an ox is as he who kills a man. He who sacrifices a lamb, as he who breaks a dog's neck. He who offers an offering, as he who offers pig's blood. He who burns frankincense, as he who blesses an idol. Yes, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delights in their abominations. I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears on them. Because when I called, no one answered. When I spoke, they didn't hear. But they did that which was evil in my eyes, and chose that in which I didn't delight. Hear Yahweh's word, you who tremble at his word. Your brothers who hate you, who cast you out for my name's sake, have said, Let Yahweh be glorified, that we may see your joy, but they shall be disappointed. A sound of tumult from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yahweh, who renders recompense to his enemies. Before she was in labor, she gave birth. Before her pain came, she delivered a son. Who has heard of such a thing? Who has seen such things? Shall a land be born in one day? Shall a nation be brought out at once? For as soon as Zion was in labor, she gave birth to her children. Shall I bring to the point of birth, and not cause to be delivered? Says Yahweh. Shall I who cause delivery shut the womb? Says your God. Rejoice with Jerusalem, and be glad for her, all you who love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all you who mourn over her, that you may nurse and be satisfied at the comforting breasts, that you may drink deeply, and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For Yahweh says, Behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the nations like an overflowing stream. You will nurse. You will be carried on her side, and will be dandled on her knees. As one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. You will be comforted in Jerusalem. You will see it, and your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like the tender grass. Yahweh's hand shall be known toward his servants, and he will have indignation against his enemies. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and his chariots shall be like the whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh execute judgment on all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Those who sanctify themselves and purify themselves, to go to the gardens, behind one in the middle, eating pig's flesh, abominable things, and the mouse, shall come to an end together, says Yahweh. For I know their works and their thoughts. The time comes that I will gather all nations and languages, and they shall come and shall see my glory. I will set a sign among them, and I will send those who escape of them to the nations, to Tarshish, Pul and Lud, who draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the islands far away, who have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory. They shall declare my glory among the nations. They shall bring all your brothers from all the nations for an offering to Yahweh, on horses and in chariots and in litters, and on mules and on camels, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, says Yahweh, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into Yahweh's house. Of them also I will take for priests and for Levites, says Yahweh. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, says Yahweh, so your offspring and your name shall remain. It shall happen that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, says Yahweh. They shall go out and look at the dead bodies of the men who have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. They shall be loathsome to all mankind. This concludes the reading of the book of Isaiah in full, chapters 1 through 66, from the World English Bible. From the opening call to reason together, to the servant who bore our griefs, to the new heavens and the new earth, where all flesh shall worship before the Lord. The word of God has spoken. May it not return void. May it accomplish all that it was sent to do in your life, in your heart, and in your rest this night. Be still, beloved. You have heard the voice of the Lord. Please come back again for another book from the Holy Bible. God bless you. Amen.